This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. This Memorial Day, we recognize the brave men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice while serving our country. And on Monday, the Color Guard rounded out a beautiful Memorial Day service at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The Color Guard ceremony at the Arlington National Cemetery marked Memorial Day Monday and closed out a service attended by many dignitaries, including the president. One of the most known places to honor the fallen is the Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. Extra special care is taken at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the cemetery's most iconic memorial. It was built and opened in 1921 to house the remains of soldiers lost on the battlefield in World War I who could not be identified. Later, the remains of other unknown soldiers were added to it in 1958 and 1984. We have a sad update to a missing persons report we brought you earlier this month. 54-year-old Amanda Hartzog, who had been reported missing by family members on May 10th, has been confirmed to be the woman found dead on Midland Road on May 27th. VIPD investigators say family members were able to positively identify her as the woman based on a compilation of features on the remains that matched Hartzog's. Police are looking for any information the community may have on the last days she was seen alive on May 8th or who she was last seen with. They're also looking for anybody who may have seen her vehicle, a blue Ford Explorer. You're asked to call the Criminal Investigation Bureau tip line at 340-778-4350, Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS, or call 911. This week, the USVI travel portal will be discontinued. It is a requirement under the administration's executive order aimed at curbing the spread of COVID-19, but many found it somewhat frustrating. So effective this Tuesday, May 31st, the executive order will be amended by striking the travel restrictions and operations portion, removing the requirement for the U.S. Virgin Islands travel screening portal for all domestic travel to and from the U.S. mainland. So the territory's transition to the open door phase of the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, while this requirement will be a thing of the past this week, the state of emergency does remain in effect in the Virgin Islands. And this restriction is lifted at the end of a busy Memorial Day travel weekend and as we approach a busy summer travel months ahead as well. But with COVID-19 still a concern for many, big crowds and being away from home can present challenges. So here are some tips for staying healthy while on the go.
Americans ready to get back out there. This long Memorial Day weekend kickstarted a busy summer of travel.
We're expecting about 39.2 million people are going to travel over this 5-day period, and that's a pretty good indication that the rest of summer is going to be pretty robust for travel as well.
A robust travel season with COVID-19 still lingering.
While COVID isn't over, it's critical that Americans know that we now have more tools than ever to protect ourselves.
In time for summer, the CDC updated its guidance for domestic travelers, advising a test as close to departure as possible, no more than 3 days out. This includes travelers current with vaccines and boosters. The CDC also recommends looking up restrictions and requirements at your destination before you go, domestically, but especially abroad. And be mindful of case rates at your destination, where masks may not be mandated indoors, but might be a healthy idea. While a small number of U.S. monkeypox cases have made headlines recently, the White House encourages awareness, but not alarm.
We shouldn't be surprised to see more cases reported in the U.S. in the upcoming days. It's actually a sign that Americans are remaining vigilant.
Close, prolonged physical contact with an infected individual is required for the monkeypox virus to spread. It's much less contagious than COVID-19.
And if you're planning a summer vacation, listen up. Delta Airlines is looking to cut about 100 flights a day from its schedule. The reason? Delta says to, quote, minimize disruptions and bounce back faster when challenges occur. The cuts will happen between July 1st and August 7th, mostly in the U.S. and Latin America. The recent announcement comes as the company says it's battling everything from weather and air traffic control issues to problems with vendor staffing and employees getting COVID-19. JetBlue is also trimming its summer schedule with plans to cut up to 10% of its flights, and Alaska Airlines reduced its schedule by about 2% through June. This week, hardwood superstar Aaliyah Boston is about to get a celebration day to recognize all of her success. The officer of the VI governor and Sports, Parks, and Recreation are hosting an Aaliyah Boston Day hometown celebration this coming weekend. On Saturday, June 4th, they'll unveil a sign at the King Airport for the NCAA women's basketball star, who of course hails from St. Thomas. They'll also have a parade down Veterans Drive and a ceremony at the waterfront promenade in her honor. As the National Player of the Year, Boston helped lead the South Carolina Gamecocks to a national championship this year. And while in the territory, Aaliyah Boston's going to be hosting basketball camps for young female basketball players in both districts. Boston Celebration Day on June 4th, again, is going to start with the sign unveiling, which is going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. A scary scene unfolded on a popular cruise ship that was in the Turks Island. Thick smoke and flames erupted from the massive vessel, triggering panic for many of those on board. Fortunately, the fire on board the Carnival cruise ship remained contained. Miguel Almaguer has the latest.
At this time, make your way inside the ship.
With flames and thick billowing black smoke pouring from the cruise ship's funnel, the upper decks of the Carnival Freedom were quickly deserted as crews scrambled to contain the fire. Below deck, passengers were ordered to put on life jackets at their muster stations. Confusion but not chaos as word spread the hulking ship was in trouble.
It was a big fire, and when you saw the panic from our sister ship Mardi Gras, it was very frightening because you could see their faces.
Docked in the Turks Islands after departing Port Canaveral Monday, the ship was tied down alongside another cruise liner when the blaze erupted. Carnival's Freedom Emergency Response Team quickly activated and extinguished the fire, says the company. All guests and crew were safe. We continue to assess the situation.
You honestly never think that you're going to have to be in an emergency situation on a cruise ship.
With no evacuations ordered, the ship is now docked until another can pick up the passengers in a few days. A frightening scene after a fire on the water.